My name is Blythe Langford. I'm a holistic business coach, so specializing in business and health and mindset. Hey Samantha, how you going, beauty? So I just wanted to tune in about this because I'm on day 44 of a fast, of a juice fast. Today I've just had coconut water and water. Hey Amanda. And so I just wanted to, talk to you guys about fasting and also about detoxing because it has been the most amazing awakening of my life. I'm 39 now and I did my first, I've always done intermittent fasting since I was 19 or something like that, which would be like either 1 or 2 days of fasting a week. But I did my biggest detox when I was 30 and it transformed my life. So I just wanted to talk you through this process and how it sort of works and what happened with my own experience and then with some of my clients' experiences who I've asked if I can share their stories as well. So I just wanted to share a little bit about this because it is like the thing I feel that isn't really talked about enough that really is the cure for all health. This is only my personal opinion, and being a naturopathic nutritionist, we heal with plants. So that's what we use. We use plants to heal ourselves. So that's why I really wanted to tune into this because it is really an eye-opener, especially when you can learn to take your health into your own hands, because then once you do that, you're completely responsible for yourself and you can monitor and you can change everything that you want to change within your body, within your mind, and all of those things can be really changed with diet and lifestyle. So you can transform yourself however you want with the things that you are putting in your body. So fasting, I'm going to touch base on fasting first because I think this is the most profound thing in our that is missed in the modern day, that has been there since the dawn of time, right? You would often hear about every single religion, and I am on day 44 of a fast, so I'm a little bit fuzzy. My words don't always come out as 100% because the sun's gone down, so you just go into your natural rhythm, which should be up with the sun and down with the moon. So that's just how it is. So just try and keep up. I'll go on tangents and all the things, but I'll do my best to stay just to be guided by the messages that come through. That's pretty much it. So I'm just going to give you my honest opinion on everything and just be guided by whatever, be guided by spirit on it as well. Okay. So fasting. So for me, fasting, what it did for me is it really allowed me to tune into my psychic abilities. So all the things that I had hoped and wished for that I had in my life that I had never really had before started to come online. So what I mean by that is my psychic abilities, my ability to understand the thought processes of other people, which developed a lot more compassion for myself, for other people, because I was able to understand their stories and understand their why they were thinking the way they were thinking, because I could see their pains from their past. I could see their insecurities from within them, which really allowed me to have a lot more empathy and sympathy for these people for everybody, because it meant that I was able to connect with their hearts and really see through their programming and see them who they were at their essence, which was such a beautiful gift, because then once you see everybody in their essence, then it's like every day is beautiful because you just see the love within another person. So the experience of that was the most transformative thing ever. So that was one of the things that I got out of fasting that is still always there. And whenever I'm feeling a bit flat or I'm losing my gifts or anything like that, or they're feeling a bit blocked, then I'll do a little bit of intermittent fasting and it comes back online straight away. And this is a very common thing. Sorry, I'm flicking my hair around, but because I'm really hot. I was just singing before I got on here and I'm really hot. And this is a very common thing for people that detox, right? So, oh gosh, I'm going all over the place. So I'll tell you about my gifts, then I'll tell you about how I get people to fast and how I've fasted and how I incorporate it into my life. So what else came online? When I was already vegan when I did my first massive fast, but I got to start seeing disease within people's body. It would just shine green. I don't see this anymore because I was a raw vegan for 5 years. And when you're a raw vegan, because you're only eating living foods, your psychic abilities are like next level, and everybody's like, oh yeah, but if you're not born with a psychic ability, then it doesn't come in. That is not true. Everybody has those abilities, but because we're not grown up around like a tribe where that is your part of your everyday life, we don't know how to harness those gifts that we already have there, and program upon program just is ingrained into us. So our natural essence and our natural gifts can never really come to the surface and be fully expressed, right? I mean, everybody's had psychic moments where they're like, oh, I knew what you were thinking. Oh, I knew what you were going to say. I didn't really know where I was going, but I ended up in the right spot, right? Because we are always connected to Mother Earth. We are always guided by whatever you want to call it, our higher consciousness, our higher self, the earth, Pachamama, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whatever you believe in. It doesn't matter, universal source energy. It's all whatever you want to call that, it's all beautiful. Or it might be like my mum and just, I believe in myself and science. Whatever it is, right? But we are all have that innate ability within us to tune into infinite wisdom, but it's just been blocked. So they were some of the things. And also, oh no, that was a different plant medicine, but that was the first detox. That's what really happened for me. And it was just like at times I was able to see the energy coming out of trees and see certain things. This wasn't when I was fasting, so I wasn't high. Because sometimes when you're fasting, you feel like you're high, like you're that happy, like me most of the time for the last 44 days. Like you can start to see the energy of things because you're on a different frequency. You're literally on, at the moment, everybody in the Western world is on like a 1260 frequency, which is how we are trained to be. The pineal gland slightly shut off so that our consciousness is not super tuned in. But in the tribes and in the tribes or whichever continent you're on, they work on 1320 time, which is like more of an elevated bliss state. That's why you'll often see people that are in like a remote village or that have nothing and they're just super happy because they are just super happy. They're on a completely different frequency. They haven't been programmed into 1260 time, right? Fuck you, mate. This is my place. So if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. But I'm explaining things that really are a little bit hard to understand when you are super in 1260 frequency. I didn't mean to say that. That was just a reflex. That was my programming reflex. Because genuinely, like if you check frequency and look into it, it's not just a fluffy thing. Like you might have heard a guy called Einstein sort of talked all about it. So just maybe have a little research in that, and happy to share anything. But this is all part of detoxing, so that's why I'm explaining what's actually happening, because many people will do a detox and they'll actually get freaked out by what happens, because that has happened to people that I haven't worked with before. They don't actually understand what is happening with them because these new gifts and abilities are coming on and they don't know how to work with them, or they don't have them explained that these are effects of your natural essence coming out. So you can say that I'm stupid or shut up with my crap, but you like, until you've experienced it, then come and have a chat with me, because if you haven't experienced it, then you don't know what you're talking about, and then you're the idiot in the place. And I'm not saying that you're an idiot, but if you haven't actually looked into something and you're commenting on it, then that to me personally is stupidity, because you should actually go and do some research on it. And if you would like to find out more, please don't hesitate to contact me, because I would love to share my last 20 years of research. So more than happy to share that with you. I don't know if you've done any research on detoxing yourself, or you've studied naturopathic nutrition, or with monks in India or around the world, because I've done lots of training. Anyway, sorry, went on a tangent because I was triggered, because I'm a human. So many of these certain things come online, and that's why you often see a lot of people that are after a detox, like, you know, the clarity in their eyes, their thoughts are a lot more clear, their body is a lot more healthy, and they're generally on an elevated state, depending on the detox that they've done, because there is many forms of detoxing. So that's a little bit about what tends to happen. And also because you are shutting down you're clearing and unblocking a whole lot of things within your body, within your mind, within your programs, the things that aren't serving you. what generally tends to happen as well is you become way more, well, you decalcify your pineal gland, so you become a whole lot more open and in that state, in that frequency, 1320 frequency of more bliss and elevated love, right? So that was the most profound experience of my life. Literally went from being a normal person to doing a detox, and then all of these abilities and gifts coming online straight away. I mean, it was pretty much straight away, but over like a month period. And it was a lot to deal with. And I'm just really lucky that I had an amazing mentor at the time, because I actually thought I was going crazy. So for the first 2 weeks, I didn't really know what was happening, right? I was starting to see different things. My vision became different. My hearing was a lot more alert, and starting to understand and hear people's thought processes and being able to see things shine out of their body. I had no experience of this prior in my life, so except as a child a little bit, but I was told I was weird and trained to shut it all off. So it was profound, like legitimately the most profound experience of my life. And it's like, going into Hogwarts and being a muggle and coming out a warlock or a witch. It was literally like that. And being able to work with nature and work with the sun, and being able to meditate on like the rocks, and working with all the elements like earth, fire, wind and water, to really enhance those gifts a lot. So that has honestly been the most profound experience of my life. And that's why I'm a holistic business coach, and not just a business coach, and not just a health coach. Because for me, when you are just concentrating on health, generally all the crap goes away, and then you have all this creative energy and you want to create, right? So I love to be able to support people in business, and then also, in their business while they're going through their health journey, because it is profound, right? And then also with the business journey, when somebody is unhealthy, that is generally when they do a detox, their business thrives, and then we can work on both together, because it's all about, for me, I like my clients to have balance in all areas of their life, because I'm not a bullshit coach. I'll call you up on whatever the fuck needs to come up and be dealt with, because that's what needs to happen. They're your blockages, your limitations, and we all need to be working through our things and integrating the parts of ourselves that we have been denying and avoiding. Because once we can have full acceptance of ourselves, then we can really do amazing things in this world and have greater impact on our own lives, within our family, and within the projects that we want to birth as well. So for me, doing a detox, the first massive detox that I did was, and with all of the detoxes that I get my clients to do, they are all personalized depending on where the person's at. I have people that come to me with cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, carpal tunnel, migraines, digestive issues, hormone issues, all of the different things. So every detox that I will give every person will be specialized to that person, because not everybody is the same, but it's mostly the mind. Lots of people can't go straight in and just juice fast for 40 days. Like, it's just not going to happen. So we need to be realistic where everybody's at. So the levels of the psychic abilities that come in are dependent on that person and how deep they're really willing to go. But generally with massive health issues as well, again, I mean, if somebody's got cancer and they're coming to me, they've tried medicine and all of that other stuff, medication, and so they are more willing to play with other certain things. Or same people with diabetes that don't want to take insulin anymore, that sort of thing. But yeah, so it just depends on where people are at. But for me, the best detox, and what I would like to recommend to everybody to do, is just starting off with some intermittent fasting. So what that would look like is one full day, 24 hours, where you don't have any fiber coming into your body. So and that will just really start to cleanse out the system and allow you to get used to just fasting. So that means no coffee, no black teas. You can have herbal teas, not green tea or mate, nothing that's a stimulant, like a peppermint tea or a chamomile tea or a rose tea or something like that. And then you can have fresh coconut water, not out of the bottle, only out of a glass bottle, because those ones that are cardboard are lined, and the lining in them actually makes them acidic, which is the opposite. You want everything to be alkaline that's going into your body so that it can really cleanse you out. Because when the body is acidic, that's when disease can live there. And when you neutralize it with alkaline, then it can start to heal. So that's what we want to do, put the body, have just alkaline things going into the body so it can neutralize any acids so that it can heal itself. Because like I said, if the body is acidic, that's when disease can really live there. If the body has alkaline things going in, then it starts to neutralize the acidity levels. And also citrus fruit, even though when it's outside the body, it is an acid. As soon as fruit goes into the body, it turns into an alkaline. So no fruit is harmful to the body unless you are allergic to it. But detoxing can help you get rid of sorry, I've got these little freaking prep-ups coming up. Detoxing can really get you over allergies as well. I know that I was gluten intolerant, dairy intolerant. I had ulcers all the time. I had carpal tunnel from hairdressing for years. And I also had severe gut issues, and I had cancer and all those sort of things. So it really cleared up everything within my body, and I never got sick again. So that's why I'm an advocate for detoxing and fasting, because it literally heals everything, legitimately everything. Because when there's a disease in the body and you take away the food, then the body will start to eat any disease. It won't eat anything that it's not meant to be there, but it will eat the disease. So let me talk you through. Sorry, I should take breaths and stuff, but let's just get into it, right? Now, if you have any questions that are not ridiculous and you're not being an asshole, then please put them in and I can come back to them. So with detoxing, what it actually does. So when you have, the most important thing with fasting is that you have no fiber. Yes, smoothies are great and all that sort of stuff, but not when you're fasting, because you're just eating mashed up food, which means it's not a fast, you're just on a diet, right? Which is great, but just not if you're fasting. So fasting means legitimately no fiber going through the digestive system, right? So when you have a juice, even though I've got a cold press amazing juicer, I will still squeeze it through a strainer, a nut milk bag, or a pillow slip if you don't have one, and that just helps to get rid of any pulp, right? Because if you've still got pulp going through your digestive system, then the digestive system doesn't shut off. You're just literally starving yourself. Fasting is different. They've done it in every religion since the dawn of time, right? 40 days. That's why I'm doing I was only going to do 40 days, like Jesus. But my body wanted to do 46 because I know how to body scan and can check with my body. My brain only wanted to do 14 days, let me tell you. So when the digestive system shuts off, then the body, there's no food to go through there, right? And 80% of your body's energy is spent digesting. So when you shut off your digestive system, what is actually happening then, 80% of that energy will go elsewhere. That's why a lot of people's gifts and abilities start to turn on. That's why they become intuitive. That's why they feel more connected to nature. That's why they're more inspired to be outside. That's why they tend to get creative thought a whole lot more, because they've got 80% extra energy. Generally, you don't need as much sleep either, because your body isn't tired and sick. It's like eating away the disease. So it's absolutely amazing. It depends. Sometimes you can have a fast, which I'm on now, where you fast all the time and just everything's just it's amazing. Sometimes you can have a slow fast where you just need to lie down and rest, and that's beautiful too. I love those ones. I just don't get them that often. So so that's a little bit about that. So when the 80% of that extra energy is going elsewhere, then your gifts and abilities really come online. And for that guy that said shut up a little bit before, I actually feel sorry for you, because if you've never experienced your own intuition, if you've never experienced feeling connected to the earth or connected to somebody that's in front of you, you're actually the one person communicating with each other, I feel sorry for you, because it is the greatest gift in the whole entire world. Money dissolves, nothing else matters. I've got both, but nothing else matters. It is the most beautiful experience you can ever have on this planet that is available to us. So I I really would love you to have a detox over the weekend and just fast and see what's available for you, because it's fucking profound. And if you don't believe me, try it. Like, what do you got to lose except your ego? And don't worry, I've got a motherfucking ego too. So, but I'm just saying, give it a go. And what also happens is, because your digestive system has shut down, then it doesn't have any food going in there. And so the body literally goes and finds stores of things that it's left there to see what is going on. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll explain that. So what happens in the body, when the body has got so much going on, it's like doesn't have a chance to cleanse itself or detox itself. Like if you're eating late at night, then your body is actually digesting all night, right? So when that happens, your body isn't actually releasing all the natural hormones that increase your happiness. It is limiting your serotonin levels because it's spent on digesting all the time, right? So it is quite valuable to eat earlier in the evening so that your body can have that break to do all the things that it needs to do at night, like repair itself, get rid of the cancer, detox. Like there is so much going on in your body at night. But if you eat really late, or even if you eat like after 7 o'clock, I mean, eating after 6 o'clock is still quite late because it doesn't give the digest. I mean, it depends when you go to bed. If you go to bed at midnight, that's fine. But if you're not giving yourself a minimum of 3 hours of stopping eating before you go to bed, then your body is digesting at night. So then you don't feel as happy the next day. You don't feel as elevated in joy and happiness and have experiences of 1320 frequency to that other guy. 1320 frequency that is elevating your levels of joy and bliss. And if you don't believe in that, then you probably have never experienced bliss before. And that bliss state is something that I'm in quite regularly, that a lot of my clients are in when they do detoxes. And you know, I just get the beautiful voice messages and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm having the best day. Everything's so beautiful. What's wrong with me? I'm like, you're happy. You're actually happy. So it is an amazing experience. Now I'm just going to go, there was one, is that the same for children? Well, children don't have as much blockage, right? Like we've got, like I'm nearly 40. So I've got like 40 years of build up in there. Like I only got healthy like 20 years ago, you know? So I still had 20 years of build up of crap. Whereas kids, they come into the world pure. So it's only what you put into them. So I wouldn't say that it's the same for every single child. Like you might have a really healthy kid and they don't necessarily need to detox. Or you might have a kid that's been eating lots of processed food and they're overweight and they're sad and depressed and they're like young because their mind has been so manipulated by the shitty food. All those preservatives, all those poisons in there are literally poisoning their brain. And that's why they feel like shit and they don't feel good about themselves. Because I don't know if you've seen an extremely overweight child, or like I have, that's my job, right? And so it's like their hearts are breaking. And it's the saddest thing to like, because they're so beautiful and they're so pure and they're so like sad, you know? So for kids like that, then absolutely, it's really important. And absolutely, it is really good for children to not eat late at night as well, because you want that extra 80% of energy to be able to go on healing them or creating more. I mean, especially if you vaxxed your kids, you want it to be able to go and clean up their immune system from the poisons that have put in there. And I know that's really shocking for some people, but like we all have, I was vaccinated, I got cancer, like we've all got certain poisons within us. We all live in the modern world, so there is poisons out there. So kids are still experiencing being open to chemtrails, pollution, you know, all of those sort of things. So yes, it is really important for them to eat earlier. For them to do a detox, like I wouldn't think that a kid would, it depends on their age. Every kid is different. So I wouldn't really say yes or no to that. But you can do different types of things. Like for a child that you feel has got, but if it's got like, let's say, certain health concerns, then definitely. And I would put them on lots of watery fruits. Like you could do a raw food diet for them for a little while, or a vegan diet, just get all the inflammatory foods out of there. And that would be super beneficial for them, like next level. And also their, like if they have ADD or any of those things, like a lot of that is diet related and the poisons that are in processed food. So yeah, just cut that out and you'll see like an amazing difference with your kids, like ridiculous. So yeah, that's a little bit about the digestive system. So it takes 3 days to shut down, literally 3 days to shut down. So within those first 3 days, it can feel like your stomach is like churning. It doesn't always, everybody's different. Especially if you're on a juice fast, it's a lot easier. Water fasting is more intense because you're literally got no glucose going to the brain. So the body just starts to eat disease straight away. It will literally start to eat disease. Back to where I was though. So what happens is your body will store, like when you need to do a detox or when you're an adult and you haven't done a detox, the body is so intelligent. Everybody thinks, oh my God, my body's not working for me. Your body is so fucking intelligent. Our bodies are warriors. Look at all the shit we've done to them. So our bodies are so intelligent, they just don't have time to clear up all the shit in there because we're eating late at night, we're drinking inflammatory foods and drinks and foods all the time. And so what it does is it goes and stores little things in each place because it doesn't know what to do with it yet. It hasn't had the time to assess it to see if it's going to be beneficial for your system, right? Because your body wants you to live more than you do, right? Like legitimately, your body is the biggest survivor out there and it wants you to live more than you do. So these little stores that it puts in places, they can often be called cancer, they can be called disease, they can be called all different things. That's what they are. They're like little garbage dumps that the body has just stored there just so that it can assess it. So if you take out the food and you actually start to shut down your digestive system, then the body will go and eat those little garbage dumps. Well, it'll assess it first and see, is this good for my carrier, which is me, whatever you want to call yourself. Is this good for us? Is this going to help us live? And if it is, awesome, it'll incorporate it. But if it's not, it'll start to eat at it and eat it away. And that's what we want because we don't necessarily want cancer in our body, even though cancer is just something that needs to be detoxed out of the body. And you're like, yeah, but what about those people that get their cancer taken out and then it pops up somewhere else? Because you haven't detoxed your body. Like it's literally this simple. Because you have taken that out and you haven't actually dealt with that as an adult, you've tried to bypass your own health, then another one will pop up somewhere else. And then somebody will get that cut up and it'll pop up somewhere else and then somewhere else and then somewhere else. And then it will just be like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do. And then it's in the lymphatic system and da-da-da-da. Just water fast. Water fast, when you've got that much cancer in you, the best thing you can do is water, get any of the food out of your system and mass doses of pharmaceutical grade vitamin C, and that will literally help to clear up disease, right? And eat away at the cancer because you want to solve the problem. You want to give your body the chance to be able to do this for you by detoxing because that's all you need to do. You just need a massive detox. And if you can get colonics and all that sort of stuff in there, then that's great too. But you could literally just pharmaceutical grade vitamin C. And if you've got a pen, write this address down. It's called petesorganicmarket.com.au. He sells like pharmaceutical grade vitamin C for $30 for 1 kilo. Like it's ridiculous and it's super good. Because he just wants everybody to get healthy. And on that site, he's got so many good supplements and organic veggies and he can ship anywhere in the world. So obviously not the veggies, but it's amazing, right? Like such good products. So have a look at that one. So it's petesorganicmarket.com.au. And yeah, okay. Where are we up to? So the body will go and eat away all those little things, which is freaking awesome, right? The first 3 days, what's happening, why are you getting those, like, what the hell is, like, my stomach's growling and all of the things. It's like, what is happening generally most of the time is most people have got, like, a shit ton of parasites in them, right? And, gosh, there's this, anyway, I won't go into a tangent. I was going to go into a tangent. Like, there's a show that I watched as a cartoon, right? And I never forget this, oh gosh, Leela and Fry. Anyway, they're like, oh, what's that show called? Can't remember. But Leela falls in love with Fry because he's like just changed all of a sudden. He's this amazing person and they fall in love and they have this amazing like love affair. And then they find out that he's got parasites and they're like, oh my gosh, I've got parasites. What if you've just fallen in love with my parasites? And then I'm a different person when you get rid of them. She's like, well, we'll just cross that road, but you can't have parasites controlling your brain. Because when there's parasites in the gut, they control your brain, right? Anyway, he did a cleanse and it was the parasites. That wasn't really him. So have you ever had the experience where you're like, sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, that wasn't even me. Or like, why am I eating this food? I don't even want it, but like, I just can't stop, you know? Futurama, yes, that episode, legitimately, that's it. It was, right? It's so good. And Solomon knows, like Matty's a massive faster as well. Oh my gosh, Tyrone, haven't seen you in like 20 years. How are you, brother? So literally that's what can happen. And that's what is happening when you wake up like really hungry and your like stomach's growling, your parasites are dying and they are like, motherfucker, feed me. I don't want to die. It's super important that you feed me or else I will die. And then you'll be open to your own natural thought, right? That's why a lot of processed food has got a lot of shit in it that creates parasites within the gut. It's not natural things that you are eating. The body doesn't like it because it knows that it is so processed that it will literally fuck you up mentally and emotionally. Because remember, 80% of your serotonin is from your gut. So serotonin is your happiness. It is your happy hormone. So only 20% comes from, well, when I say 20% comes from the gut, 20% comes from your digestive system, right? So if it is not functioning properly here, or it's blocked, or it needs a detox, then it can't stimulate that happiness for you. So we go into like, I don't know, being like other people and going and being an asshole to somebody else on Facebook, right? Probably just got parasites, bro. Do a detox. So yes, it is really, once you have that awareness around what those first few days are, then you can consciously decide whether you want to be controlled by parasites or whether you want to kill them so you can discover who you really are. Because it's a beautiful gift discovering who you really are, because everybody at their essence is beautiful. Parasites are assholes and you are fucking amazing. So kill those bastards, right? Like, and when your gut is has a lot of parasites, then they start to control your brain. So that's why it's really nice to be able to detox the parasites in the gut, and then you can feel like a different person 13, 20 time. Then you can feel like an elevation of joy and happiness and get into that bliss state a whole lot more and be able to experience that a whole lot more throughout your day. Like you can literally look at the ocean, or like I was driving through the bush today, the Australian outback, and be like just elevated joy by seeing natural things like in your bliss. I was like in my bliss state by myself, like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. It's just ridiculous because you're just having like plants and things like that, like in the juice, and you're just having them when they're alive and their energy is transferred to you, their frequency is transferred to you, then you are of a different experience. Because you've got to understand, when food is dead, the vibration is different, and if you don't believe in frequency, then you really need to like have a look at the like if something is alive, like obviously I'm alive, I've got a lot more energy. If I was dead, I'd be on the floor. So I don't really want to have that experience. So it's just about making the conscious decision of what am I filling my vessel with? Because when you understand that this is a fucking vessel and you're in control of it, then you can start to be responsible for what you put in and the experience that you have. For example, like so many people that I would go out for dinner, or my family was so triggered when I became healthy, because I'm from from people that they call a SAD diet, which is a standard American diet, which is a standard Australian diet, right? Like meat and 3 veg, like have a dessert or ice cream after dinner, and, you know, cereal with sugar on top in the morning, and then like a sandwich with some processed meat and like sauce and shit, and then I might have a piece of fruit in the morning, and then I'll have a packet of chips in the afternoon. Well, I generally have 2-minute noodles with cheese on it when I came home from school. Yummy. And so they eat shit food. And so when I was going out to restaurants and things like that with them and ordering other food, they were triggered as fuck, because they're like, what is wrong with you? Like, you start to change in that. And not everybody's families are assholes, so don't worry about it. But because you become happier, you can have a different experience of people, you can feel all their joy, you can feel all their happiness and have more compassion towards people, then everything just sort of changes for the better, I personally believe, because then you get out of that suffering in your mind and you don't need to be an asshole to people and you can just appreciate them for who they are, right? So it's been such a gift and such a blessing. So what else can I tell you about detoxing? If also, is there anything else that anybody else wants to know? But literally, like, when did I start doing health coaching? I did my certificate, I don't even know, 15 years ago, something like that, 12 years ago. I created my own detox product line for myself. And then because it was working so great, my clients would ask me, what have you done? You seem very different. Your levels of joy were already fucking high and now you seem like ridiculously happy most of the time. What is happening? And I created my own detox product line because I was like, oh, well, I need this for myself. And then so people I don't have it anymore. It was amazing. I had it for 7 years and I just gave it to the clients that I was working with and we all had profound effects from it. Like literally people that had extreme anxiety, sweaty palms, all of those sort of things, not a really active pineal gland, so had lower experiences of life and those sort of things. It really created like amazing things within people's body and then and within their mind as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about the first 3 days. So while you're killing off the parasites, and like you might be really addicted to the tapeworm that's in you. I don't know. It might be like a little family that you're used to, but like gross. Because like you got worms, and not worms that need to be killed with modern medicine, because those medicines literally rape your whole digestive system, so there is no good bacteria in there again. And then you start eating the processed food, having the alcohol, and then you literally just make it 10 times worse because you don't have the good bacteria and the good juju in there to be able to detox it and deal with it. So you're actually just creating more harm to the internal body. So that's a little bit about your parasites. What else? I think that's literally it for the moment. So for me, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my fast right now. I'm on day 44. I chose to do I started off doing a 2-week fast, and then I communicate with my body, and my body tells me, no, we're going to do 30 days. And then it came to 40 days, and I was like, actually at the 40th day, I was like, oh, I don't feel like this should be ending. And so I communicate with my body, and my body was like, I'm like, should I do 50 days? I don't want to do 50 days. And my body was like, no, let's do 45. I'm like, okay. So doing 45 days. So have you seen parasites leave your body? And when you have colonics and things like that, you literally can see all sorts of things. And I've also, done a lot. Like I used to do a lot of my own enemas and coffee enemas. I haven't done them in a long time, but because I did them for, 15 years. And yes, I would see parasites, and a lot of candida, and because parasites look quite black, and are just gross, but I never saw like long worms or anything like that. But like mucosoid plaque, Solomon and I are really into detoxing, so we're okay talking about poo, but other people are not. But yes, like a lot of mucosoid plaque and things like that, absolutely. But because I've done detoxing for probably over a decade, I don't have that anymore. So I don't do deep detoxes myself. Now I'm just doing like juicing, but I haven't done a fast this long in, I don't even know, 5 years. So this is just something that my body really wanted right now, and it was just happened before all this craziness in the world. So it was obviously perfect timing to be able to, it takes the stress away and just makes you be able to deal with life a whole lot better, because you don't have to, your stress isn't there because you don't have any chemicals going into your body. You've only got good stuff in there. So with fasting, so with your juicing, it depends on how long you're going to juice to what kind of juices you put into your body. If you are just going to do a really short fast and a detox with juices, then I would highly recommend just doing like greens as much as possible and just not too much fruit, because you want to keep the sugars down so that it'll be more like a tonic on the body. And it is really beautiful to have, actually, but I'm just thinking about a few of the people that are in here. Like if you're already done some detoxing, then do your green juice fast and do it for like a week. It would be amazing. But if you haven't done that much fasting, then I would say try doing like one day where you just have like, what would be a beautiful juice? Like I love watermelon and mint. Watermelon and mint, my favorite juice, right? I actually put the rind in there because watermelon rind is so good for you, like ridiculously good for you, right? So if you have a watermelon and mint juice, like I just go and buy a watermelon. Should show you, I've got 4 watermelons in my fridge at the moment, whole watermelons. Watermelon and mint juice, it is beautiful. Or watermelon, mint and cucumber is lovely, beautiful juice, super refreshing and really cooling as well. So what I mean by that is really good at neutralizing the acid in the body as well, and generally just really sweet and yummy and makes you feel good. But if you wanted to do a green juice, a great green juice would be lemon or lime, and you can put the peels in because the peels are so freaking good for wrinkles and for your skin, and for extra cleansing as well. So you go lemon or lime, lemon if you're not used to fasting, lime if you're used to fasting, with some cucumber, with some celery, and maybe with some kale or spinach, something like that. So just fully green juice with your acids would literally add years to your life, I reckon. Like if you're doing that regularly, it would literally start to really break down that mucosoid plaque and help to neutralize the acidity so that you can flush all the things through, and it really starts to give you like a lot more mental clarity, right? So if you were to do like 1 day of fasting a week, it's revolutionary. It can literally change your life. And especially if you're already psychic, because I know there's a few psychics on here, it just enhances your connection to, like it just enhances that and makes it a whole lot more clear. And like I know a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, but I'm already doing that, you know. But it's like it just enhances it and just makes it clearer and even more simple. And it's just like it changes everything, like 2 millimeters or like 20 millimeters or like, you know, a bit, which just makes it even better. So it just elevates the experience of whatever is going on in your life, right? So I would highly, highly recommend it. But I think that's pretty much it. Also, or if you don't want to do a full day, maybe you could do like 3 days in a row where you just have food for half the day. Or maybe for a week, you're like, okay, I can't do a juice fast. Like that is so hard. The thought of not eating food actually makes you think like you're going to die. Hey, I remember that the first day I ever fasted and I was like, I can't actually do this. I might die. And I literally thought I was going to die. So I remember that feeling. I was like, fuck, no, I can't do this. So if you're that person, then just juice for maybe the morning and the afternoon and just have one meal in the night, or have breakfast in the morning, have lots of fruit up until lunchtime, and have mostly your watery fruits, because like your bananas and your apples, the more dense foods, they don't go through as quickly, right? And bananas, like everybody's like, yeah, I eat heaps of fruit, I have like bananas. It's like, yeah, but with already a lot of processed food in there, it's not actually giving you a detoxing experience. It's actually classed as a sweet fruit that is nourishing you in a different way. It's a heavy food. That's what I'm saying. It's a heavy fruit out of all the fruits. So have something super cleansing, like oranges. Have like a whole thing of oranges, like maybe 4 oranges for breakfast, or 6 oranges for breakfast, or a papaya, or I love grapefruits. Nobody loves grapefruits, but they're my favorite fruit. Because they get rid of the mucosoid plaque like that, right? So that's why grapefruits are the jam. Literally, have grapefruits. The yellow grapefruits, they taste sweeter than the pink ones. I love them. They're more juicy and they've got less fiber, and it literally just, the mucosoid plaque and the parasites just hate it, and it just like allows it just to come out of your body because it's not serving you. It's literally preventing your serotonin, and it's making you sick, and it's making your parasites just have more babies, which is disgusting. So yeah, that would be, I'm going on tangents. Have pharmaceutical grade vitamin C. It will also prevent every disease, and also minerals. If you have any questions about any health stuff, I am a holistic business coach. As I said, I coach people through all sorts of things, and I fucking love it because I take a stand for your health more than you do. And no matter what stories are fucking coming up, like, we work with that, because it is really important that you're being able to be supported the whole way through a journey, because your health, without your body being healthy, your experience of life isn't as great. So, and I don't want people to get cancer. I had cancer. My mum had cancer. Like, you know, like when your health isn't right, your mind's not right, right? Like, suicide is really high. 1 million people suicide every year. I've got suicide down both my family lines. So in order for me to stop that within my family line, then I needed to take dramatic action. And a lot of the people that come to me, they need to take dramatic action. Some people don't. They just want to get a bit healthier, and then like a detox helps everybody. But some people need to take drastic action. So if you're one of those people, then reach out. I'm doing 20-minute like free chats with people as well, because I do have a program which is it's called Upgrade. It's a one-on-one coaching program which helps to take people from where they are to where they want to be, all to do with health, but also to do with their business, their mindset. It's a real holistic thing. So whatever you're sort of struggling on, we're able to take you from point A to point B, and whilst working on all the limitations that are like fucking with you, so that you can really have the massive transformations in life that are going to be well into the future and long lasting if you keep on incorporating certain little things into your future. So that's it from me. I'm going to sign out. I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and consider and try doing some fasting, because it will change your fucking life. And everybody in the whole entire world wants to have a greater experience of life. Everybody wants to live a bit longer, but whilst being happy and healthier. So in order to do that, just take the first step, right? Just take the first step and reach out to somebody that can help you. I love supporting people. If you don't resonate with me, that's okay. Go and resonate with somebody else and allow them to support you through the journey. So with my program as well, I work with people that, like, I've got different packages within that same program for different budgets as well, because I like to take a stand for the people that are really willing to stand up and want to make a change in their life. So if that sounds like you, then DM me, or put like a little sign down in the messages below, and I'll get in contact with you, okay? Sending you so much healthy, loving vibes, and may you be thinking beautiful thoughts and your heart be resonating so much love and joy. Mwah! Love you!